What's going on, guys? Brian's here. Today is Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. It's been a couple weeks since I've been able to put out a YouTube video. However, I'm happy to be back in the groove of things. For those of you that don't know, outside of trading, I am a filmmaker. I was in the process of getting my Steadicam certification from the SOA. I was in an intensive workshop. This is my first time working with a Sony Venice on a Steadicam rig, as well as being in production for some short films. Now, regarding the markets, you guys know one of my favorite tools that I like to rely on is gamma exposure. And I know a lot of you guys are gamma exposure enthusiasts, often abbreviated as GEX. I generally start every week with a game plan for the weekly gamma exposure. And then I like to use the 0DTE gamma exposure whenever I'm using some sort of a 0DTE trade. In today's case, I sold a put credit spread. So we will take a look at the gamma exposure profile at 10 a.m. I'm going to share some of my thoughts regarding how I assess this data. This is my risk profile here for the 0DTE. I sold some puts at the 5,380 level and the 5,360 level. So it was a put credit spread. This is the current P&L on the price as the markets has bounced. So we will take a look at what I was thinking earlier on in the day. We'll take a look at some tools here. So let's dive right into it. This is our SPY chart, 15-minute time frame. These are the levels that I like to share at the start of every week. So let's just head over to the quant trading app Discord. I'm actually going to close this out here. Let's just jump over to the Discord and let's go to the start of the week. You guys know I like to put together a profile using all of the expirations for the week. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I get a profile. These are our gamma exposure levels. Then I take these exact levels and I mark them on my chart. So this is the highest negative gamma strike. This is the highest positive gamma strike. This is our absolute gamma strike. This is the strike price that has the most amount of call open interest. And then we have the strike price with the most amount of put open interest and so forth. So these exact levels come straight from this gamma exposure profile at the start of the week. And that's what we have on my chart. So yesterday, market opens, we plot these levels on our chart. I then share it for archive purposes so you guys can see these are the exact same levels here. This is the exact profile from yesterday. That builds a framework for myself and already creates some sort of a blueprint. So I have some sort of an idea for how price action might unfold. Today, without getting to every single nuance level, because I want to keep this video hyper-focused on just today's profile, the reason I want to bring that up is because every trading decision you make is generally not made in isolation. Price action is not in a contained bubble. There's always a greater context around every trading decision you should make. In other words, the market has sold off aggressively for a couple weeks. We sold off to a 2 sigma strike a couple times here back to back. So the expectation would be some sort of a relief bounce. This is a continuation off of that thought process. So I'm starting off with the logic over the past 7 trading days, looking for opportunities to sell puts. From a longer term standpoint, there's plenty of opportunity whenever the market sells off like that to sell puts. So at the start of last week, this was August 5th. This is not a trade in which I ran live, but you can always go with a 45, 46, sometimes like a 50 DTE put credit spread. So you sell deep out the money puts, give the trade plenty of time. 99% of the time within a week or two, you'll generally get about a 50% return on profit for a trade like this. So this is a put credit spread from a swing trade standpoint, taking that same logic and just building upon it on a 0 DTE time frame is one way you can add some extra cash flow for yourself. So if we scroll up to today to the 10 a.m. Eastern time here, so let's just scroll. We're just going all the way back to right before I open the trade. I generally like to wait about 30 minutes or so after the market opens, just let price action settle in, see if the market makes its usual 10 a.m. reversal. So this is our 10 a.m. gamma exposure profile. I'm going to open this up right here so we can all see this together. 10 a.m. Eastern time, 30 minutes after the market opens, this is the current spot price. As I look at this profile, the first thing that's going to stand out to me is, wow, there is a lot of positive gamma. Where is all the negative gamma? There's barely any. It's all the way down here. So if price is here and I see all of this positive gamma, I'm already going to form some sort of a bias that more than likely the market probably wants to go up today. But that is not enough of a reason to say I'm just going to get long or I'm just going to sell puts. I want to establish some sort of levels for myself. The significant strike on this chart is 5,400. That is our absolute gamma strike. On top of that, we can see that there is a ton of call volume coming into these higher levels here. 30 minutes into the market opens, there's well over 10,000 call volume for this particular strike. So this is the 430. I had a really great one-on-one with a quant trading app trader here today, and that's what really sparked the enthusiasm to hop on YouTube and record a quick video for everyone to essentially benefit from this information. These levels, by the way, are generated from quant trading app. If you didn't know, link is in the description to quant trading app where you can access this type of gamma profile. As we get back to our analysis, we have our current spot price. The first thing you always want to ask yourself is, where's the most recent resistance? The next closest big bar that you see on your chart is pretty obvious right here. So if this is the current spot price, if the market was to go up to 5,400, this is our potential resistance. Next, you want to ask yourself, where is our potential support? This could be a potential support, but it's not that significant enough. Something I like to take note of is, if we see all of this positive gamma here, where does all that positive gamma meet the first signs of negative gamma? It's right within this area here. This is essentially where the negative gamma starts. Now below here is where there's nothing but negative gamma, but in between this area here, it's pretty much like a transition zone. This is where the positive gamma turns negative, or where the negative gamma turns positive. Price action, I would expect to be pretty choppy in this area. This whole choppiness that I would expect here is where I would also expect there to be some sort of support. Now we have max pain, which tends to act as a key support or resistance level when in confluence with another strike price. So 350 is the obvious support level, but I would expect this whole area to be some sort of a potential demand zone or a potential support area. We have resistance up here. We have support in this area down here. If price was to break 5,400, the expectation would be it will head up to this area here. This is that 415 and 420 area. If price breaks above 420, we have expectations for price to get all the way up to 435, because we can see this is our next largest bar. On top of that, we can see all of the speculation happening in this area here. So just in that last, I don't know, 60 seconds or 2 minutes worth of talking here, we can already discern so much information just from this one graph, especially when you just start layering this with understanding technical patterns, intraday VWAP, or general understanding of momentum. As we take a look at our SPY chart here, this is 10 a.m. So this is right around this time frame in which we are assessing our gamma profile. Before we head over to the SPX, the reason I wanted to start with the SPY is because these levels again are plotted at the start of the week. This range here between 534 and 536, this is our massive gamma strike. This is our absolute gamma level straight from the weekly gamma profile. So as we take a look at this profile, that is this region right here, 36 to 34. If price action is above this zone, I would expect the pressure to de-escalate from the market. In other words, if we are above this, I would expect bulls to be in control. If we are below this zone here, I would expect bears to be in control. We can see there's nothing but negative gamma below here. Above here, positive gamma is larger. Yes, we have this negative GEX island at 540, so this is where I would expect price to meet some sort of resistance if we came up to here. However, if price can hold above 540, then I would expect it to head up potentially to the gamma flip strike. As we can see, it's a nice track for positive gamma up towards this area here. Without going into too much detail, as I'm just trying to keep this video pretty brief, this is our zone. This is our area. That's what's marked off on this chart right here. This is that zone. This is that area. The market gaps up above this area. So that's why I'm starting with the SPY chart, because this is already telling me at the start of the week, I had this area and this zone marked off as above here. The pressure should come out of the market. If the pressure is coming out of the market, by pressure I mean the unprecedented volatility in which we experience. We all know what happened with the spike in the VIX. This is unprecedented. We haven't seen levels like this since 2020 during the COVID crash. This is the pressure coming out of the market. Some would say this is the fear coming out of the markets. Whatever way you assess the information, we know pressure is being de-escalated. If pressure is coming out of the market, we can expect it to continue on its natural course, which would be up. Defining these areas and zones for yourself is very beneficial and helpful. Now let's head to the SPX. This is our SPX chart. This is around the same time frame here, as I'm trying to decide what direction do I think the market is going to go today. I chose the long side, so I sold puts down here at the 438 strike. Equivalent on the SPX, I believe, is somewhere around here. We don't need to do direct translation. You can sell puts in the SPX, you can sell puts in the ES, you can sell puts in the SPY, regardless of what your instrument is. The point of this video is how can we use gamma exposure to determine some sort of directionality? How can we build expectations for price action? The first step can come from just looking at a graph like this and making it simple for yourself and asking, if I were to split this chart in half, right along where the negative gamma meets the positive gamma, so this area, this is our transition zone. So if I split this down the middle and then I compare how much more weight there is on this side, there appears to be a lot more positive gamma on this side than there appears to be negative gamma on this side. If we were to think of it as a scale, this is our scale. This is it split down the middle here. And we were to ask ourselves, just looking at that charts, how much positive gamma there appears to be. This is what this chart would look like. There's a lot more positive gamma than there is negative gamma. The scale pretty much looks something like this at the start of the day. So if you're trying to gauge some sort of directionality, just looking at this, from an expectation standpoint, this appears to be the heavier side. The scale will tilt down here, which means this is the direction. The scale will tilt this way, and this is our direction. This is up, this is down. This is all of that positive gamma. This is that very little negative gamma. It looks like the scale is top heavy. It looks like price action can head up. This is in vacuum. This is in isolation. When you're trading, you should not be making your decision based on one thing in isolation. However, this video is focused on gamma exposure and directionality. So I'm just going right down the list of how I approach this when I'm looking for some sort of direction for the day. When we're looking for some sort of actionable trade, or when we're looking for our levels, this can provide that context also. Above 5,400 is the safe place to actually really get long, because in this range here, there's nothing but positive gamma. You're trading on the side of the winners for the day. Below 5,400, it's still a little bit questionable. At this point, we don't know if price was going to slip back down to this transition zone, but the expectation at this point would be that we're not really going to go much lower than here. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to sell puts down below this area here. But above 5,400, if you are a momentum-based trader, this is where price action really opens up. Now, in terms of expectations for how high will it go, this is where we have these levels. Again, at 10 a.m. this morning, we can see 5, 4, 3, 5. Most people speculating at this time 430. So 430, 435. Where's the SPX right now? We're coming up to 430. We don't know if we'll hit 435. So the different types of spreads that can be run. In this case here, I ran this put credit spread. And then there is a swing trade here, which is a broken wing butterfly, just to bring in an extra P&L without having any type of risk to the upside. I don't want to have risk to the upside when I see this much positive gamma on the chart. Yes, you can buy calls, but you never know how fast the momentum will come. And I generally don't like to sit in the trade if I'm not entirely sure about the momentum. And earlier on in the day, I didn't know if the market was going to be choppy for a few more hours. I didn't wait until the 5,400 break to actually capitalize on the momentum. I wanted to get in a little bit early. I had a one-on-one Zoom meeting in the middle of the day. And momentum-based trading requires a different level of focus versus selling puts. Once the market broke away, we have VWAP now. So we're above VWAP, and this can be used as a trailing stop loss for a put credit spread, because if you're selling puts for all the way down here, as long as price remains VWAP, you don't really have any concerns, which is what also makes it easy to record a video like this while the market is live and I have some positions running here. The maximum profit on a trade like this is $382, so it's currently up $367. So it's pretty much hit its maximum profit. If we just take a look, this is the current spot price right now. So there's not really much left to gain. So I will be closing this trade out as soon as I'm done recording this. For extra confluence and to add conviction to the trade, this is the QTA SPX data feed. And then you guys know at this point, if you've seen any of the previous videos for this past month here, the SPX trade engine generates this chart, which is compiling a lot of the information onto one graph. So early on in the day, this timestamp is 10:05, so 5 minutes after that previous GEX profile was generated. This would be the spot for the SPX. This is saying it has only moved about 10 points from the open, so 9.9 points from the open. This is a day in which there's an above average expected move. So it's expected to move about 31 points. At this point in time, if I were to ask myself, where do I think the SPX is going to go? This is our absolute gamma strike. So the dash purple level right here, so this is that 5,400 strike. That's the same strike we're seeing right here, 5,400. The graph is telling us the same thing. I'm just gonna close that out. We have 5,400, it's pointing up. The proprietary QTA power strike is also pointing up. Now, early in the day, again, we take this with a grain of salt. This is not the sole reason to decide to be long. However, if you're like me and you generally don't have that much time to make a trading decision, or you're lazy, you don't like looking at a million things, the point of this page is to be the aggregate of all the quintessential information needed for SPX traders to decide what type of spreads they want to trade, what type of direction they want to trade, whether you want to buy a futures contract or short a futures contract. The point is to be able to glance at one chart in conjunction with the GEX to be able to form some sort of basis. Instead of being distracted by your chart that has candlesticks always moving, this is taking a little bit more of a data-based approach. So we know there's still plenty room left on the bone, at least 20 points left for the SPX to move. The question is which direction. We're coming down to this neutral strike. So above or below this. Below this, we're entering more of a negative territory for the day. And above this, we're in positive territory for the day. So as long as price is holding here, we see absolute gamma is above here. We see that the power strike is above here. We know that there's still plenty room left. The expected move for the close is above here. So above 5,400. So we'll call it 5,410. In other words, the market is not quite extended yet. The caveat to this is we have max pain down here, but I would just interpret this as this area should be a really nice support. So if the SPX was to sell off and come down to here, without hesitation, I would have looked to sell some sort of puts below this because there's nothing really down here signifying we should go any lower. This was the put with the highest volume, but there's nothing else really in between here. 430 at this point in the day was the strike price with the highest call volume. It seemed to me at this point in time with 79% of the gamma being positive, with more metrics above. Other than this conglomerate down here of strike prices, I just interpret this as support. In other words, the really high probability trade would have been to sell something like the 340 put, but the credit received on that would have been too low. And because I had enough conviction, I sold puts that were a little bit closer to the money. I think at the time I sold puts that were around 0.21 delta, but it all came from taking a glance at this, taking a glance at the gamma profile, assessing the levels that I knew I would be either in trouble with or the levels that I knew I would feel comfortable. Once we broke above 5,400, I knew there was less pressure. I wasn't too concerned. During this time frame here, yes, there was a little bit of concern, but we didn't break the low of day, so I wasn't necessarily too worried. Once we broke here, it definitely was satisfying to know that the trade was on the right side for today. It doesn't always happen that way, but this was a gamma profile that was pretty simple. If you think of it like a scale, this is all the positive gamma, this is all the negative gamma. Split it down the middle here. Which side do we think we're going to head towards? And if it doesn't head towards that way, where's the strike price in which things go wrong? And I would say below here is where I would abandon this concept of us going up and then flip the script and start looking for potential short setups. If that happened and then price got back above this area here, then I would negate any of the short ideas. This is our transition zone, which means anything can happen in between here. It's pretty choppy. It can go up or down. But the further and further away it gets away from that zone, in net positive gamma, price is going to want to head towards all the other positive gamma strikes. Let's head down to the current recent print and let's see what we're looking at right now. Before the market closes, 435 is now an absolute gamma strike. So price is hovering right around where there was a ton of volume for the day. So at this point, we're over 60,000 contracts traded at 430, over 50,000 for 425. Even 440 is in on the action now with over 50,000 volume traded all within this area here. Virtually no more negative gamma for the 0DTE. This is our profile. We can see that the power strike dropped down. So now this is our strong support at 540. Make that full screen. We have strong support at 540. If the market was to just pull back here before the market close, I would expect this to be some sort of support. Regarding resistance, we have it up here. So this is a little bit of our range here before the market closes. Either way, the positions in which I'm in are not really in any jeopardy, so I'm just going to look to close them out. Hopefully this video helps you guys understand how one trader might be interpreting gamma exposure. Simplifying it, think of it as a scale. Split it down the middle. If it's pretty obvious to yourself, then it's probably a trade or a direction there. If it's not this obvious, then don't force it. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video and share it if you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.